Good morning. Thank you for coming out this morning. It's so good to see all of you. One of the things I love about coming to church is that we get to touch into that divine presence within ourselves and affirm that as a community. So this morning we're going to confirm that God's love is deep within me. Is that not true? Yes. Yeah, it is true. Inside, outside, everywhere. So God's love is deep within me, ever satisfying my soul. It does, doesn't it? Yes. It's like, I don't know. Let me think about that for a minute there. Okay, yeah, so let's affirm that in song. And this is sung to the melody of Swing Low, Sweet Chariot. So all of you know this melody. So let's affirm, let's touch that inner divinity within, and let's just affirm. God's love is deep within me, ever satisfying my soul. Okay? God's love is deep within me,
Good morning and welcome everyone here and everyone online in our worldwide online community to Unity Spiritual Center Spokane, where we are about our mission of transforming lives and inspiring people to make a positive difference in the world. My name is Darlene Walsh-Martin, and I will be your platform assistant this morning. So if everyone could take a moment to silence your cell phones, that would be greatly appreciated. Thank you. As always, we want to begin our time together by sharing our opening affirmation. I will say it once and then ask you to repeat it with me. There is only one presence and one power active in my life and in the universe, God the Good. Together, there is only one presence and one power active in my life and in the universe, God the Good. This is Unity's foundation principle: one presence, one power, one life living through and as each one of us. This morning, we'll be hearing from our Unity Spiritual Center leader, our leader. I think we should give her a hand. We're still all getting used to you, so it's great. It's like a celebration every time we can say it. So our spiritual leader, Reverend Bonnie Barnard, and her message that's entitled "The Power of Spaciousness." Reverend Bonnie will be leading us in the meditation as well. So now please welcome our chaplain that's going to be with us today, Gary Howard, who will provide us with our reading and opening prayer.
This reading is from Joe Dispenza, Becoming Supernatural. Wherever you place your attention is where you place your energy. The moment you become aware of the unified field, your attention upon it causes it to expand. For example, when you place your attention and awareness on your pain, it expands because you experience more of it. If you keep attending to your pain and experience, more and more of it becomes a part of your life. The same thing also happens with the unified field. When you place your attention on it and become more aware of it, it expands. And just as I said about pain, when you experience more of it, it exists as part of your life. Simply by placing your attention on the unified field, as you become aware of it, notice it, experience it, feel it, interact with it, and stay present with it moment after moment, it shows up and unfolds in your reality on a daily basis. How does it show up and unfold? As unknown serendipities, synchronicities, opportunities, coincidences, luck, being in the right place at the right time, and moments filled with awe. In my best description from experience, this unified field is a divine, loving intelligence and an intelligent love that is within and around you. So each time you focus your attention on it, you are becoming aware of the presence of the divine within and all around you. As you place your attention on it, the divine should appear more in your life. Since consciousness is awareness, and awareness is paying attention, when you are aware of it and pay attention to it, you begin to merge with it. Your experience on it will literally cause you to become it. And as you unfold deeper and deeper into this unified field, there is more and more for you to explore and experience. When you take your attention off being somebody, someone, something, somewhere, in some time, and you become nobody to no one, no thing, nowhere, in no time, you are becoming pure consciousness. Your consciousness merges with a unified field, which is made only of consciousness and energy. When you connect to the self-organizing consciousness of everybody, everyone, everything, everywhere, and every time. Thus, as you surrender as an awareness without your senses into this field of oneness where there is no separation, and you keep going deeper into the void or blackness, because nothing physical exists there, you as a consciousness become less separate from the consciousness of the unified field. If you can keep becoming more conscious and aware of it, and keep paying attention to it, you are investing your energy in it and your attention directly at it. Thus, as you keep moving toward it, you will feel less separation and more wholeness. Now, our prayer for this morning, let us focus on our beloved source, consciousness. Relax. Breathe deeply. Relax. Now is all that matters. Let each one of us go to our happy place, where we store the very best memories we have experienced. As these feelings flow, love them, each one, for these are the times when Source has whispered through your heart, gently urging, saying, you are loved. Love thyself. Gift yourself the space to radiate your expanding qualities. You have the entire universe to awaken to. It is with love and reverence that we offer these thoughts to the divine. As we speak, so we create. Thank you, beloved Source, in which we all exist. And so it is. Amen.
Gonna be a transformation down in your soul. Gonna be a transformation, baby, now that you know. Get used to righteousness, 'cause it makes you feel whole. Gonna be a transformation down in your soul. Remember when we were downhearted, didn't have nowhere to go. With the wisdom of insecurity, just knowing that we know something starts happening, feels like you're on the road. Gonna be a transformation down in your soul. Wanted to flow. They're moving on, knowing that we know at the time of the river, love is the law. Love is forever down in your soul. Gonna be a transformation down in that makes you feel whole. Gonna be a transformation down in your soul. Gonna be a transformation down in your soul. Gonna be transformation. Now that you know, get used to righteousness, 'cause it makes you feel whole. Gonna be a transformation down in your soul. Gonna be a transformation down in your soul. Yeah.
A shout out to, whoa, I'm loud here. Or maybe both are on or something. A shout out to Agape, where Van Morrison came and performed. And that was where the video's from. When I attended Agape, I saw Stevie Wonder come and perform, the Earth, Wind, and Fire perform, and Ben Vereen. So I would like you to hold with Jan and I the idea and the consciousness that when we have great musicians coming through Spokane, they insist that they come and perform here. I promised to call our thinking higher, wider, broader, and I invite us all to share that thought together. So before we dive into the talk, this is Veterans Day weekend, and I would like to make sure that we honor all of us who have been of service here to our country through serving in the military. If you are one of us, please stand, and we will honor you. Now stay standing, stay standing. Stay standing. Let's go ahead and rub our hands together. Let's feel that incredible love of God coming from our heart into our hands, and let's send them to our brothers and sisters who've served, and repeat after me. Thank you for embodying freedom. Thank you for embodying freedom. Thank you for embodying service. Thank you for embodying service. Thank you for embodying love of something bigger than yourself. We are better because you're here. We are better because you're here. Amen. Amen. Thank you very much. Now, this is how good God is. And I feel like we should have a bulletin board out there that just says, this is how good God is, and we all just put our things up there and go, here it is, here it is. Well, before I started working here, back in September, Jan had asked for a list of the talks so that she could put music to it. And so I created the talks back in September. And I needed this talk today. And so this is so amazing because I was preparing a talk for my own self that I needed so much. And who would have known, not my personality, who would have known that I would need this now, that this would be my tincture, and that we all get to participate in it together because there's only one of us here, right? So it was like, wow, this is amazing. So the talk today is about spaciousness, and I have been really fascinated with space for a long time. Space as in outer space, as in the planets, as in the beauty that exists beyond us, and spaciousness as in that inner quality within our own being that allows for serendipity, for curiosity, for love, for all of the good stuff to show up because it's not full. Our soul requires spaciousness as food. Our body requires a meal, it requires physical food. Our brain eats ideas and concepts and thoughts, but our soul dines on spaciousness. It is necessary for an expanded self, and I wanted to talk about this in part, I think, back in September, because this is the Sunday before we start diving into the holidays. So on a very human realm, I'm inviting us to make sure that we don't fill our calendars too full. And on the spiritual realm, I'm inviting us to go deeper and to be sure that we have more space daily and cyclically. Like a cycle, cyclically. Okay, so some thoughts about space is that space can be a location. And what I thought as I was putting this talk together was how funny we are as humans, because we design and decorate spaces to match what it is we're going to do. And for some reason, I found that hilarious. So, we designed a kitchen for food and an office for work and a ball field to play ball and a garage for storage, a gym to work out, a church for a sacred space. And in reality, when we get to a place in our consciousness of awareness, we realize that everywhere is church, everywhere is a sanctuary, everywhere is sacred, and it can become really funny that we have designated spaces for what we do. So we also do this thing about having physical space between each other. And before COVID, this was really obvious in an elevator. You'd get in and people would be like, whoa, you're in my space. But then during COVID, we were told the space to stay away from each other, which was 6 feet. The interesting thing about that is our auric fields are 4 to 5 feet in size. So it was fascinating to me that it's almost the space that we were asked to stay away from each other in order to not share physical energies or physical stuff. But it's also the same as our psychic auric energy field. So that's interesting. We have outer space, we have negative space, as in silence within music. We have a relationship between time and space, which we learned about through Einstein, and have actually learned more about it with quantum physics. And then we have our inner contemplative space. And raise your hand if you've ever had the feeling before like your inner space is so full that it's almost like you're a hoarder, right? Where outside we can see, we say as within, so without. Outside we can see when we have too much stuff, but inside we can feel when we're also full, and that can and often does lead to sickness. So I want to remind us that we're human beings, not human doings. We require space to actually put on our calendar time that we're going to do our prayers and meditation. And then we need silence and space to feed our soul, but it also cleanses our mind and opens our heart. And here's a great quote from Reverend Michael Beckwith. He says, "When we meditate, we are fasting the mind of thoughts. During meditation, the debris, the toxicity, the toxic thoughts, and the emotions come to the surface to be released. Similarly, when you fast from food, you remove toxins, release undigested food, and release things that are no longer necessary for the body. Well, meditation is mind fasting. It has an aspect of connecting with the divine presence within you. When you meditate, you step out of your present paradigm and see reality from a more expanded perspective." So this is the analogy that I like. And I don't know if this is in Microsoft products, but it is on my Mac. And that is that when there's too much storage, too many documents on my screen, I have to actually pull them and put them in a garbage can and then have them emptied. And this is in order to remove the documents, to remove the used storage space and free it up so the computer has capacity. We are making more room for memory. There's a thing that's also, at least it used to be on the computer, that's called defragging. When your documents are fragmented and they're also taking up space because they're out of alignment. And so we go in and do a defragging process for the computer so that it can have greater capacity. That too is true with each one of us, that when our soul is not getting the space it needs and our mind is full, our hearts close because we're up in our head and we can't go anywhere. And so it's an opportunity to be able to go and defrag and to go to that little garbage can inside and to start doing some tossing. And that happens through meditation. Interesting fact is that it might humble you to know that all things, your friends, your office, your really big car, you yourself and everything in this incredible vast universe are almost entirely 99.999999999% empty space, right? So I look solid to you. But the reality is the majority of me is space, as with each one of us here. So the question becomes, are we giving ourselves back to ourselves? Are we allowing space to feed our space? And we know that space isn't empty. Space is full of ideas, possibilities. This is the place we go to receive messages, to get ideas, to heal our body, to repair our emotional self, and to connect with others. So I wanted to look at nature because nature is a big teacher for us. And for a long time, I followed a spiritual teacher who practices understanding of God through nature. So I thought, let's look at the seasons here, and I found this really fun, is that we have our winter where trees will turn inward, and it is their bark that insulates them. It is during the winter time that leaves live off of the sugar that is built up from the summer in order for it to make itself into the springtime. So winter is an inward process that's very profound, that the tree basically shuts itself down. A bear or a chipmunk would hibernate. A bird will fly to a warmer climate. It is the time where it is the go within time. Then with the tree, the leaves will start sprouting in the early spring. And then it will do the photosynthesis process where the sunlight converts to chemical energy and it goes about producing sugar. And then it makes itself into the roots of the tree, the branches, and so forth. The whole tree is filled with this photosynthetic process in order for it to thrive. And then in the fall, the tree loses its leaves in order to conserve energy. So now when I look out my window and I see those piles of leaves, I'm so proud of them. I'm like, you're doing your job, you're conserving your energy. Now it requires me to use some energy to clean it up, but that's a whole nother thing. So let's look at the animal. The animal in the winter hibernates, sleeps, migrates. During the spring, it wakes up and starts breeding. And then in the summer, it has peak activity. It's like happy, playful, running around, doing its thing. And then in the fall, it starts gorging itself so that it gets ready to be full, taken care of, so that it can make itself through that quiet space, right? So I started contemplating when I looked at this of how we might get wisdom from this for every single day, not just for the cycle of the year. There should be times we take sabbaticals. There should be times we take vacation. There should be times we go on a meditation retreat, right? So there are those hibernation times, if you will. But what if we looked at this every day, and every day we set aside time to get quiet within, and then to allow our leaves to sprout, and then to have our productivity, and then to start shutting down. So what if we looked at the cycle as a daily thing as well as a seasonal kind of thing? How are we doing? Okay, great. So now we get to the fun part. Well, it's all fun, right? Is that I am so fascinated with people's creative processes. You cannot be creative unless you have internal spaciousness. Period, bar none. Can't. And so here's what James Taylor says. He says, when he writes a song, I need quiet. I need those 3 days of boring, nothing happening before I can start to hear them. Soon the chords begin to surface and the words begin to swirl. It's not instantly a complete song, but the elements are there. So I saw him talk about this in an interview many years ago, and it stuck with me, which is how I knew to call it up. And he said he goes away. He leaves his family, he goes away for weeks, he finds a quiet place, and he knows it's going to take 3 days of nothing just to come to a place to be able to start receiving. And then we love ourselves some Lady Gaga. Just saying. And as a side note that's totally not related to this talk, I really want her brooch. So if any of you, I have looked ever since the inauguration for that brooch and haven't been able to find it. If any of you find it, just know to give me a holler. Okay, so Lady Gaga in an interview with Oprah talked about her creative process like this. She said it's like her life is a continuous hallway, and that there's doors in the hallway. And behind each one of the doors in the hallway is a room, and in that room is her new creation that she's to co-create with the universe. It's the new song, it's the new album, it's the new show. And so she said she sees all the doors. She can see them, but the deal is she has to get inside. And so she said the hard work comes in getting that door open. And she says, I will use a sledgehammer, I will use a key, I will use a shotgun, I will use whatever it takes to get that door down. And she said, because I know on the other side is where I will create. It says, once the door is open, it's like a new birth with lots of light, and then I shut the world out. And when she shuts the world out, she does not receive any phone calls from anyone except her mom. And if her mom starts talking about the world, she hangs up on her. Because this is that space and that place that's incubational, and we can't mess with it. Just saying. So then she has strict communion between her and her spirit in order for this birth to happen. And I sat with this and I thought, this is just like that cycle that you and I just looked at. This is like the seasons. The hard work comes in the fall. You know, she's doing the hard work because the winter is the going within and being isolated where no one else is, as she has her communion with herself and her God in order for the new production to take place. Now, we're going to talk about what writer and coach and spiritual teacher Martha Beck has to say about this. She says, and in writing, it gets down to you trying to go into a wordless state to create words. Isn't that beautiful? And in writing, it comes down trying to go into a wordless state. A wordless state is that black hole that was read about today, that we continue to return to in consciousness. It is that nobody, no self, no thing state. It is the no word state. You enter in the state of the no words in order for the words to emerge. I talk a lot here about emergence, okay? We go to the nothing in order for something to be revealed to us. Okay, and she says this is quite a magic trick in itself. And then you write a set of words, and it's not going forward, so you stop, and then you feel which words aren't working. Isn't that beautiful? All right. Another writer to look at, Maya Angelou. Many of you have heard this story. It's lovely. She says, I have kept a hotel room in every town I've ever lived in. I rent a hotel room for a few months, leave my home at 6, and try to be to work by 6:30. To write, I lie across the bed, so this elbow is absolutely encrusted at the end, just as rough with calluses. I never allow the hotel people to change the bed because I never sleep there. I stay until 12:30 or 1:30 in the afternoon, and then I go home and try to breathe. I look at the work around 5. I have an orderly dinner, proper, quiet, lovely dinner, and then I go back to work the next morning. Sometimes in hotels, I'll go into the room and there'll be a note on the floor which says, "Dear Miss Angelou, let us change the sheets. We think they are moldy." But I only allow them to come in empty waste baskets. I insist that all things are taken off the walls. There's that womb again, the darkness, the anonymity, okay? I have everything taken off the walls. I don't want anything in there. I go into the room and I feel as if my beliefs are suspended. Nothing holds me to anything. There's that congruence, if we see that there. No milkmaids, whatever that is, that I thought was hilarious. No flowers, nothing. There's nothing in that space. I just want to feel, and then I want to work. I'll remember that I'll read something like maybe Psalms, maybe again something from Mr. Dunbar, James Weldon Johnson, and I'll remember how beautiful and how pliable the language is, how it will lend itself. If you pull it, it says, okay, I remember that, and I start to write. Nathaniel Hawthorne says, easy reading is damn hard writing. And one of the things I want to point out that both Maya Angelou said and Martha Beck said is they both use that word to feel. Martha said when the word isn't right, you can feel it just isn't right. Maya Angelou says before I start writing, I want to feel into that space in order for those words to come forward. What I learned in my very beginning years of metaphysics, which I struggled with understanding until about 10 years ago, and that is that we teach that emotions and feelings are two very different things. Emotions are tied with thought, and feelings are the natural arising that happens when we're connected to spirit. It's part of our intuitive system. So they're not saying, I emote sadness. What they're saying is they enter into that deep and then they start feeling around to say, is this a fit? Is this not a fit? Am I connected to spirit? Am I not? So the idea of feeling is very much a part of the fabric of spaciousness. So many of you have seen this next video. I'm going to ask if you have to use your eyes and ears to see it for the first time. This is just kind of a fun interrupter. It's 3 minutes in length, and Maya Angelou was the best known, most recent Unity student. And so here's the video from her interview with Oprah about Unity.
You say words are things, and that they're so powerful. So what words do you turn to for comfort?
Love. And again, see, I think love is that condition in the human spirit so profound that it allows us to forgive. Mm-hmm. And it may be the energy which keeps the stars in the firmament.
Yes.
I'm not sure. It may be the energy which keeps the blood running smoothly through our veins. I'm not sure. But it's something beyond the explanation. It can be used for anything you can explain. Any good thing you can explain.
Absolutely.
Yes, ma'am.
Where do you go for solace, for comfort? Are there books that you read? Or when Maya Angelou needs comforting? Yeah. What do you use?
I'm a student of Unity. And there's a book called
The Unity Church?
Unity Church.
Mm-hmm.
Maya first discovered the Unity Church in her 20s after her voice coach and mentor, Fred Wilkerson, invited her to a service there. Founded in 1889, Unity is a Christian movement that emphasizes affirmative prayer and education as a path to spirituality.
I took a course in Unity about 2 years ago, online. Not to become a member, a minister, but just to understand more deeply. There's a book called Lessons in Truth.
Wow.
And in the book, there's a line which is, God loves me. And when I came to read it to my then mentor, Frederick Wilkerson, the late Frederick Wilkerson, I read, God loves me. And he said, read it again. And I said, God loves me. He said, read it again. Read it again. And finally, I said, God loves me. It still humbles me that this force, which made leaves and fleas and stars and rivers and you, loves me. Me, Maya Angelou. It's amazing. I can do anything and do it well. Any good thing, I can do it. That's why I'm who I am. Yes, because God loves me and I'm amazed at it and grateful for it.
Okay, you guys can clap at that. That's all right. Okay, back to, that was so refreshing. I just love that. Back to the idea of spaciousness is Jesus left the crowds, left the groups, and went to the mountains often. It says in Scripture that Jesus often went to the mountains to pray. He would say to his disciples, I'm done healing for the day. This is what I read. I'm done healing for the day. I'm going up to the hill, going up to the mountain. Now, what we learn in metaphysics is the mountain means that higher space in consciousness. It's exaltation, a high plane in consciousness, a state of spiritual realization, which goes to show, again, that there is an inner spaciousness and an outer spaciousness. Love it. Okay. Eckhart Tolle says, presence is a state of inner spaciousness. Presence is a state of inner spaciousness. And the great theologian T.D. Jakes, who I just love to watch, and I hold as someone that I can emulate because he does plays on his stage. Like he acts things out and there's a whole crew and it's like he's just spectacular to watch. His sermons are wonderful. But he says that we all have access, we just have different levels of capacity. And so some of us may be entering spaciousness right now with a spoon, a teaspoon. And some of us might be entering with a cup measure, and some might be going in with a gallon jug. And so he always says that when you're in relationship with someone, don't expect them to have more capacity than they truly do. I thought that was so brilliant. This photo and then the next photo were taken on my trip at Asuyos, Canada, which is so gorgeous. It's only 3 hours from here. This quote that comes from Bruce Sanguine, who wrote the book, The Emerging Church, says, to steward spaciousness, you don't focus upon what you're aware of, but upon awareness itself. And then my last slide for the day is regarding Newtonian versus quantum physics. And it's so interesting because all of us in the room here were raised on Newtonian physics. Our society, for the most part, is built on it and built on its idea. Our mindset is pretty much there. And before I pass and leave this world, I really want to experience fully the presence of living in a quantum reality. Just like electricity, nobody knows how it works. They just know that it does. And it's a really interesting thing because it's very different in thought than Newtonian is vastly different than the quantum realm. And what New Thought was built upon was metaphysics, which means that we look at what's going on within us, not just outside of us. Mysticism, which means that we're aware that there's a oneness behind everything. And it was wrapped in the science of the day. We have a new science of the day. And as we are emerging, as our souls are expanding, I believe it would serve us to play with the idea that how we have seen things may have brought us to where we're at, and the new adventure may require a different science to undergird it or to surround it. So just as one example of this is that quantum physics believes in a kind of machine model where the universe is made up of parts and every part is discrete in and of itself. And so we look at things separately and we divide things. Quantum physics says that nothing is separate. Quantum physics says that everything is energy and everything is vibration, and those are the two qualities that are looked at, energy and its vibration, and that one part of the whole impacts another part of the whole. There is no such thing as discrete. It's all interconnected like a web. And so in New Thought, we have used the metaphor regarding manifestation as being like a soil that a seed is put into. So we have the soil or ourselves, in which our mind thought puts the seed in, and we let it grow, and voila, there's manifestation. That is very, very much Newtonian. And I don't have the answers. I'm playing with all of this. But I love the idea that maybe the new model is that you and I are space. And that the divine presence of God in its wisdom bursts itself, just like it did with the creatives that we saw in the slides today, that God in its brilliance births itself through us evolutionary as co-creators, which is very different than our mind deciding what we want and planting it to grow it. This is getting quiet, allowing ourselves to be the space so we can receive the messaging from the universe that's ours to receive in order to dance with it and co-create and have something on the new, fresh edge. And that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking. Thank you. Thank you. It has been requested by many that we don't clap after I talk, so we can just sit with it, and I'm okay with that. No, I don't need to be clapped at. So I'm not going to tell anyone how to behave, but I'm just going to put that out there. And Scott, we're going to do a different meditation today, and it's very special because we're actually, for the next 5 minutes, going to meditate to the sound of the Saturn rings. And this came out of NASA, and the meditation is on, or the sound of it is on YouTube, and it's 40 minutes, and it's a really lovely thing to do to meditate to it, and I'm bringing it to us here today, and Caleb is going to give us 5 minutes and then close it. So let's go ahead and feel our feet on the ground, maybe throw our arms up for a minute. Kind of get in posture, smile, and here we go. Here we go, Saturn. Caleb starts turning this down, we are going to just enter into quiet silence for a minute. And as we do so, just allow yourself to lean into the energy field, knowing that you're fully and completely cared for and taken care of. That the unknown is God. The unknown is friendly. The unknown is good. And so I just give thanks that once again all of us got an opportunity to come together in order to connect with and be reminded of the spirit that we are. That this is that place that we come to in order to feed the soul, to open our being, to celebrate not what the world has to say about the world, but what God has to connect within us, so that we may be our full expressive self here on this planet. I give thanks that each one of us shows up and is guided in our own unique way to be who we are to be and to express what it is that we're here to express. I give thanks that that evolution of consciousness began way before we took form on this planet and will continue way after we leave. And so I just give thanks for this continuity of life, for the goodness, for the glory of God, and for this thing called space. And so it is. Amen. All right. If we could have the ushers come forward. I believe it's giving time. Oh, we're doing a song? Sorry, we're singing first. And then it's giving time. Thank you. Yay, thank you.
Let's continue on with Reverend Bonnie's theme about in the silence.
Now it's time to give. And I'm going to invite those of you online, to text your giving if you feel so called to give to 509-215-2552. I'm going to invite you to mail checks if that's your preference, to go old school, to Unity Spiritual Center, Spokane, 2900 South Barnard, Spokane, Washington, 99203. And on the website, you're welcome to give. And this is my favorite part of the service, because you can only give what you have, and you can only have what you are. And all of this works together. So as we give, then we have more, and metaphysicians know this to be true. And then as we have the more, who we become is different. So I invite all of you to participate, whether here in person or online, in giving. And if you are a regular giver and have one of these, I invite you to hold it to your heart. And if you wrote a check or have cash, do the same. And we say our prayer together. I know that my giving blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I give and receive. I give thanks for the abundance that is mine to share. And as the ushers are making their way up, I do want to say that there is room for more ushers on the usher team. And I also want to let you know that next Sunday is a special Sunday. All Sundays are. But next Sunday, we're going to have a prayer dome. We're going to be just saturated in prayer. So if you're someone who is a prayer or an energy worker or an energy healer or a Reiki person, or fall somewhere in that category and would like to be of service to the service next week, please see Deanna. She's making a list, and we'll ask that you come a little bit early so we could do a walkthrough, and your presence would be greatly appreciated. All right, Alan. Let's all turn towards the beautiful basket here and just give thanks that God is all there is, and it shows up in so many different ways, including money. I give thanks for the money that allows this center to operate, that allows this center to expand, that allows this message to be taught and to be sung and to be shared and to be prayed with. I give thanks that this is an organic, moving, alive presence that each one of us participate with and in. And for this giving, I do give thanks. And for the giver, I give thanks. And I know this good multiplies. And so it is. Amen.
So, thank you, Reverend Jan and Scott. And thank you, Reverend Bonnie. Thank you. Talking about the importance of going within and reminding us that we have space and that we have a space, that in this process of going within, we can feel our own space. God is here, and God is wherever we go. And to be reminded that if we feel our space, it will assist us in our soul's expression and transformation down in our soul. So unity stands for peace in the presence of conflict, for love in the presence of hatred, for forgiveness in the presence of injury. Unity honors the many names for God, the many paths to God, for we know that there is only one power, one presence, one life. So whoever you are and wherever you are on your spiritual journey of transformation, you are welcome here. If there's anyone here for the first time that feels comfortable raising your hand, we would love to say hello to you and offer you a free coffee from our barista stand. Is there anyone here for the first time? All right. For those of you that are here, and as well as people online who might be new to our ministry, we encourage you to sign up for our e-news to learn more about our upcoming transformational speakers, workshops, events, and you can sign up on our email for our email newsletter by scanning the QR code you see on the screen and around the center or on our website, unityspokane.org. We would also like to connect with you on our social media, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Just search Unity Spiritual Center Spokane to find us, and thank you for joining us today. So now let's take a moment to acknowledge and bless one another with a high five, a hug, an air five, a socially distanced wave, a namaste greeting, or whatever moves you. Feel free to stand if you're able and send your loving energy around you for 1 minute.
Everybody. We just have a few announcements, not much today. Yeah. So this is good news. This is good news. Okay. Good job. Good job. So, news you can use. First up, guess what today is? Today is Sunday. You're correct. It is also the day that we are having our harvest celebration and appreciation event here at Unity Spiritual Center, right after services today. And so I saw that there were some transformational speakers that are in our audience, yay, and then lots of volunteers and staff and the people that have kept us together for 2 years, as well as Reverend Bonnie and Reverend Jan. We're going to be honoring them and appreciating them right after services. So there is a program that's happening, okay? So you don't get your baked potatoes until after the program. Just saying, just the messenger. No, it'll be wonderful. It'll be right after, I think at 11:30, we're gonna all meet in here, go through the amazing appreciation for everyone, and then we're gonna go have some baked potatoes. Does that sound good to everybody? Okay, please stick around. And then the other thing we have is a sound healing, a Bringing in the Light Crystal Alchemy sound bath. Reverend Bonnie's super excited about this. And I'm going to give a little summary from Amy Felt, who is the certified life coach and Reiki practitioner and sound healer that will be doing the sound healing here Saturday, December 3rd at 3 p.m. It's only $25, which is a real deal. They can be up to $50 in Spokane, so $25 is good. She says, as we approach the winter solstice, which is perfect for today's talk, during the darkest time of year, we are given an opportunity to slow down and reflect. The longest night of the year also marks the turning point when the light begins to grow stronger. This deeply restorative sound meditation is designed to promote emotional and physical healing, stress reduction, and a general sense of well-being. And who couldn't use more of that? Especially right before the holidays. Through a process called entrainment, the soothing frequencies generated by singing bowls have been shown to lower blood pressure, improve sleep, boost the immune system, and reduce pain. Whether you're looking for an alternative therapy for physical illness, a little relaxation, or a deep connection with the divine, come experience the power of presence as we journey to rejuvenate, replenish, and welcome the light together. So again, that is Saturday, December 3rd at 3 p.m. here at Unity Spiritual Center. We will have that sign up in e-news this week. You can also sign up online at unityspokane.org in the calendar. You just have to go to the calendar and then look at December 3rd, and the link will be there as well. So please sign up for that, and we look forward to having you there and to experience that sound healing. Okay, and now Darlene is going to come back. All right. Starting to talk about our chaplains. Our chaplains today are Gary Howard and Murphy Sullivan. And if you would stand, and then we've had David Lineweber in the back, who has been holding the service for us. Oh, and as a reminder, apologies to our online viewers. We've been having some technical problems today, so thank you for hanging in there with us. All right. So Gary and Murphy will be here at the front, available to pray with you immediately following the service. If you have something heavy on your heart or something that you would like to celebrate, please come and see Gary and Murphy, who will be available in the front of the sanctuary following the peace song. Thank you all for your service today. We would like to encourage anyone in need of prayer support to fill out a prayer request form found in the seat pocket in front of you or on the table as you entered the sanctuary, and you can put them in one of our prayer boxes, and also you can submit your request through our online form. Names are added to our prayer list and are prayed over for 30 days by our prayer ministry as well as Silent Unity and Unity Village. All right, so it's time for our kids. And so we're going to welcome them in with Walking in the Light.
We are walking in
so blessed today to have such an amazing youth ministry here at Unity Spiritual Center. So let's take a moment to bless our children, our youth, and those in service to our youth ministry with our children's blessing. Be the love you are, sing the song you hear, share your joy of life with people far and near. And for ourselves, be the love we are, sing the song we hear, share our joy of life with people far and near. And now kids, go ahead and find who you came here with, and blessings for the day. No. Okay, so does that happening before this?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, good morning. I'm Joan Breckling on the board, and I'm excited because this is a day when we're going to welcome in some new members. We have a lot going on today, which is very wonderful. So would everybody who is joining, if you're joining as a supporting member, if you'd come over on this side, and if you're joining as a governing member, if you would come over on this side. You know who you are. There should be, I'll just name Curtis Carlson. Is Curtis here? Some of them can't be here today, so I don't know who's here and who isn't. Mike and Susan Herzog. They're not here. Okay, those are our new supporting members. And then Deborah Brandt, Rosalie Jensen, Don Giuliano, and Angie Sullivan, and Marlene Murphy Sullivan. So I'd like to just welcome each of them. As you know, we have supporting members who are new to our congregation and are joining us for the first time to say, hey, we are committed to the mission of this center of transforming lives and inspiring people to make a positive difference in the world. Now, all of these lovely people up here are transferring from other Unity centers and going right into governing membership with us. So I would like to introduce them. What happened? All right, you're fine. Thank you, Bonnie. So Reverend Deborah Brandt is transferring from Seattle Unity. Don Giuliano is transferring from Bellevue Unity. Rosalie Jensen is transferring from Coeur d'Alene. And many of you know Murphy, she's transferring from Coeur d'Alene Unity. And we are delighted to have Murphy's mother, Angie, also transferring from Coeur d'Alene. And we will be having another new member orientation probably in January, so watch for that if you're interested. Thank you.
And now please stand as you are able and join together for our closing prayer for protection, followed by the peace song. So together we affirm, the light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well, and that's the truth.
Glad
I love coming up here and seeing that. Just so one quick reminder, in 15 minutes, we will reconvene in here to do a short ceremony of appreciation and celebration for the last 2 years and to welcome Reverend Bonnie and Jan. So come back in the potato bar after that. Yes.
gonna work? Okay. Okay. The light's not on. Is it on? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Oh, yeah, there we go. Okay, everybody, let's come back into the sanctuary. Don't be eyeing those baked potatoes. They're not ready yet. Ooh, I can walk around with the mic. I kind of like it. The power. Let's all come back into the sanctuary. Start our appreciation celebration. I'm glad you have your coffees in hand. Did anyone order me one? I don't think so. It's okay. I kind of like having this mic. Alms for the poor. Yeah, exactly. Somebody get me a coffee, and I'll be fine. Just kidding. Who was? I should be. I think Joan's taking this away, right? Yes. Where are they? Joan, are you doing this?
Talking about the end of the light with the candle.
Okay, I'm not gonna light candles this time, I'm just gonna say a few words. This is,
Okay. All right.
welcome, everyone. I'm so glad so many of you could stay. Let's see, I want to make sure we have Jan. Where's Reverend Bonnie? Is she here?
Bonnie?
Yeah.
She's looking for her grandson.
Uh-oh. Okay, so just wanted to let you know there are individual candles being passed out that we will use at the end of the ceremony. So please take one and just hang on to it. And what we're going to be doing here is actually acknowledging each team. The team leaders will be coming up, and Tara will be doing that. And then after that, we will be acknowledging our transformational speakers, and then we have a couple of other acknowledgments and just celebrations. This is really a celebration. Think about how we have been in this journey together after the Simmons left for almost 2 years now. And we have a thriving ministry because of all of you, for all of you who have contributed in so many wonderful ways. And so we're really here to celebrate that today. That's what we're about. So I would like to invite Reverend Jackie, if she's in. Jackie here? There goes the end. We're missing our Reverend Jackie and our Reverend Bonnie. And then after the ceremony, after we've all lit our candles, then we will all go have baked potato bar. And just while I'm waiting here, the potato bar for the vegans is right up against the kitchen wall here. It's a separate table. I think the potatoes are probably the same, but the toppings are different.
hear I've already been introduced. So let's come together, as we always do when we gather in the name of unity, and join in prayer. And let's begin by acknowledging our breathing in this moment. And I invite you that as you take a deep breath, to breathe in peace, and then breathe out love. And let's do that a few times. Breathing in peace and breathing out love. And in this breathing, let's acknowledge the creator of all life. The creator of all life that gives us our breath. The creator that lives in us, as us, and through us. As co-creators, we join together to create this ministry of unity. We come today to celebrate our oneness of purpose, our divine guidance, and spirit in action. And so it is. Amen.
All right, well, we will begin. I'd like to invite Tara Ware up. She's going to be our mistress of ceremonies for much of this. But before we do that, I want to acknowledge Tara. Tara has had many, many roles here in this ministry, and her most recent one is as our Spirit in Action Council coordinator, which the Spirit in Action Council is all of the leaders of these 12 or 15 teams. I kind of lose track. And so she has been, for the last 2 years, I think, helping us. This is really a core aspect of our organization, of our working together. So let's first of all just acknowledge. And as we move through this, I think we'll just we need to allow some brief applause for each team as they stand, or each group of people. So I'll hand this to you.
Okay, hello everyone. Good morning. Michelle, Deanna wants you. We have some candles. Did everyone get a candle to participate in the candle? Everyone get a little candle? If you haven't, we have a hand over here. Okay, super. Well, I have had the privilege for 2 years to be working with all of the volunteers, the leaders of each team. And the first year, we were a transition team. So the plan was just to help with the transition and stay connected and increase our communication, etc. And then the second year, starting this year, we decided, along with the board, that it made sense to continue as a group. And so we went through a process of renaming our group. It was a very, very cool collaborative process of all the different leaders. So we came up with our new name, which was Spirit in Action Council. So I'm very excited to say that we are an ongoing group of people working together, collaborating. Okay, so any more candles needed? Raise your hand if you need a candle. Looks like we're covered. Okay, excellent. So first, I want to invite up all of the leaders, anybody that's a Spirit in Action Council leader. If you would come up on stage with me, you know who you are. Yeah, come on up behind me if you would.
This is as close as I can get.
You're perfect, Anne. You're closer in spirit.
There's a ramp if you guessed.
Okay. So I have the honor of lighting our candle. This is our Spirit in Action candle. And I want to encourage all of y'all to light the front candles first so we don't burn sleeves or arms. So this is to acknowledge the Spirit in Action and all the communication, collaboration, and connection we've done over the last 2 years. Come on now.
At the end, just the little candles are at the end.
There we go. Thank you. Okay, so I just want to say thank you to each one of you. It has been a total pleasure to be working with each of you, and I look forward to future magic. Future magic. Yes, thank you. So I'd like to start by acknowledging our connections team. Michelle has been helping lead up. Where's Michelle? Over here. Yes, Michelle and Shalon. Shalon, are you in here? Come on down. Yeah. So Shalon and Michelle are the connections team leaders. They have a great group of people that have been taking the lead on having events and bringing us together, helping us connect, like potato bars, etc. So if you are on the connection team, if you would please stand. If you're on the connections team, please stand so we can acknowledge you. Sarah, Jason Weir. Jason Weir. Miracles happen. All right, thank you, connections team. Okay, now I'd like to have Gary Locke, facilities. Gary, are you here? Okay, this is in honor of facilities. So all through this time, our property has...
He's here.
Oh, whatever.
He's
All right, I'm doing it for
bashful.
you. He's cleaning staff now, so he has... It is true that he is not really... Okay, come on now. I think I'm going to need some help with some wicks. Okay. Okay, so that was for facilities and landscape. If anybody is here that has participated in maintaining our facility and landscape, please stand so we can acknowledge and thank you. All right, Steve, awesome. Everybody, thanks so much for your contribution. Now, Jim is going to light a candle for multiple groups. Jim has had the leadership of not only finance, the finance team, but he has, which means putting together the budget, etc. So if you're a part of the finance team or you've helped with budget, etc., please stand up so we can thank you and acknowledge you.
Sarah.
And Charlie Carr. Is Charlie here today? No, okay, Charlie Carr, too.
So light.
Oh yeah, light one for right, okay, that's for the finance team. Now, while he's doing that, I want to acknowledge Jim also for leading up the baristas, thank goodness, right? Yes. So if you light a candle for the baristas, and if you're a barista, stand up so we can thank you and acknowledge you. Yay, baristas! Thank you all, thank you. Wonderful. Okay, Jim, your final team is ministerial search team. Hallelujah! If you were a part of that team, please stand up or step forward if you were a part of the search team. Thank you. They went through applications. They really took the lead on such an important part of our next future, or the next steps for us. So thank you, Jim. Okay, so now Sally, step on forward. Sally has been leading our welcome team.
Welcome.
Appropriately so, I'd say. So if you are a welcomer and you've been a part of this team at any time in the past, please stand up and be acknowledged. Oh, and greeters, sorry, right. Welcome team would be greeters, ushers, yes, the sons, yeah, Courtney. Wonderful. Thank you. Okay, and she has to stay too, because The sledges have been crucial. So I also want to thank and acknowledge Sally for her leadership with the music director search team. And anybody that is a part of the choir, stand up so we can acknowledge you. Yes. So Sally and Al have taken the lead on this team. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And where is our blessing? Where is our blessing from that? There she is. There's our blessing from that one. So we have multiple blessings here with us. Great. Thank you very much. Okay, now, you wouldn't be able to hear me if it weren't for this person. Yes, I'd be screaming at you instead of just talking like a normal human being. So, David is going to acknowledge and we thank you, David, for your work with technology. He's been working very closely with Caleb this whole time for us to have things streamed, etc.
No, and I really want to acknowledge the amazing Caleb, who has stuck with us throughout the entire time. And Doug, where's Doug? Stand up, Doug. Yeah, without Caleb, we wouldn't be able to hear anybody. We wouldn't have any live stream on Sunday. He does all of the work every Sunday, like clockwork. So thank you so much, Caleb.
Yes, thank you. And Caleb has displayed for us this is our Spirit in Action Council vision. Or vision or mission, I can't, either one, it's something, it leads us. So that has been part of setting our goals too, here as a group. Okay, so thank you, David. Next, we want to acknowledge Anne. Thank you for your work with the library. Anne has kept that going. Thank you. We bring it to you. Anne and Jane Giesel, who I know many of you know and love, the two of them have been an incredible team maintaining everything that's come in. Thank you so much. That's awesome, Jen. So we are thankful for your work. Yes, thank you. Yes, yes, yes. Now I want to acknowledge this person who has been helping with making sure things flow smoothly on Sundays. So Jeff Tawney represents the Sunday service team. So if you're a part of the Sunday service team, please stand up or step forward. And as Jeff lights the candle, I want to acknowledge not only Jeff, but kind of up front so we don't burn. Thank you. I also want to acknowledge Amber because Amber did it for a big chunk of the time that we've been going. So thank you, Amber. Thank you. Yeah, she's the grease behind the wheels.
And we do also want to acknowledge Karen Dunmore, who is in Portugal.
Oh yes, I don't know if Karen's watching, but hi Karen. Yes, we want to acknowledge Karen. So she was a big part of coordinating things as well, coordinating music, etc. Yeah. Okay, wonderful. So next we have, I want to acknowledge Marketing and Outreach, which is a group that really was working on helping get the word out about what we do here. They are Gay and Dave Ribble. They're not present, but let's give them an applause. Yes, they're not able to be here today. So they helped us, Gay particularly helped us come up with our vision as a group. So when we turned into the Spirit in Action Council. Oh, I should light one for them, don't you think? Yes. Okay, great. Yay. Okay, next we have the Adult Spiritual Ed team, which is currently led by Ron Kurtz. Sorry, I did my circle. So Ron, thank you. He just recently joined our team. Where is Cheryl? Cheryl, please stand up. Cheryl has been also a huge part of the Adult Spiritual Ed. So thank you both for leading that team. And Janice, are you present too? Yes, Janice, there. Okay, thank you. Janice was a part of it. And Al, so we have a big team that was helping out. And David McClure, Reverend David McClure. So if you are a part of, have been a part of the Adult Spiritual Ed team. Yes, so stand up. Everybody that's also part of this team, please stand up. I'm not sure I did that for the Sunday service team, so, okay. Okay, good. Next, we have a very critical part of our community, and that is Reverend Jackie Green, leading the next generation, leading our entire Unity family. So thank you. Children, if you would stand, children, you're part of this. Thank you. And any adults that have helped with the childcare, or thank you for taking care of our next generation. Thank you all. Thank you so much, Reverend Jackie. Next, we have an important piece. I guess they're all important, so I can stop saying that. Chaplains. Thank goodness for our chaplains holding the prayer consciousness and being there for us up front when we most need it. If you haven't experienced praying with a chaplain, I highly recommend it. So, Al, please come and light our candle to represent your team, and thank you for your work with the team. Maybe all chaplains. All chaplains stand, please. Yes. All chaplains stand. So as you can see, there are so many people that have been involved with this, making this community happen during the time when we were waiting for some leadership. We had all this leadership, right? So grateful. The next team is the Compassion and Action team. So Juliet is here she's standing in for Diane Hunter. Diane Hunter has been leading our Compassion and Action team this whole time. So if you would come lay on behalf of Diane, thank you so much. If you've been a part of Compassion and Action team, please stand so we can acknowledge you. Yes. Thank you. Wonderful. Hope you're having fun, hunters. Okay. The next one, and the last one of our team that I want to acknowledge and thank is Earth Care, led by Pat Merton. So if you would light a candle, and please stand if you're a part of Earth Care. They put on some incredible events. Wonderful. Thank you, Pat. Thank you for taking the lead with that team. Wonderful. Okay, so now what I'd like to do is invite you to join me in blessing everybody that we just acknowledged, the leaders, the team members, all of you, the children, everyone. And I want to invite you to bless them by saying, and I'll say it once and then you can join me. We bless you. We love you, and we truly appreciate you. And we behold the Christ light within each of you. Okay, ready? It's a long one. I'll try to lead you. Okay. We bless you, we love you, and we truly appreciate you. We behold the Christ light within you. Wonderful, and so it is. Thank you all. Okay, I think you can have your seat. Take your seat. Okay. Now we're going to shift and give thanks for all of the people that in the interim were willing to bring their message, open their heart, share their ideas, and help transform our community through their speaking. So Amber, if you would come up, we're going to have you light a candle for the transformational speakers. And if you've been a transformational speaker, please stand so we can acknowledge you. Yes. Thank you all. Oh, wait, here's one. Let's see if it doesn't work. You work on that. And I want to also acknowledge, it's taken so much from so many of us to continue to thrive. So the next group I want to mention are contributors. So that is anybody that has volunteered, anybody that has participated in any of the classes or activities, anybody that has financially donated to our work, our cause, our vision, anybody that's done any praying. If you've done any praying, you're a part of that. Let's see, anybody online that might have joined us via online. So all of you are contributors. All of you are a part of this community and make this work. So, pardon me? Mary. And Mary Christensen, Mary, where are you? She's going to come light a candle. You're fired. Yeah. Try that one. That one looks positive.
Oh, yeah, that one's don't work.
That'll work, yes. Thank you, Amber. Thank you, Mary. Yes, please applaud. So everybody is a contributor. Now, I also have the joy and privilege of introducing to you the board of directors, board of trustees for our Unity Spiritual Center. This group has been meeting and meeting and meeting and meeting, so much more than they did prior to our shift and transition. So we want to acknowledge the board, and we're going to first light the candle. Maybe. Yes. So if you are a part of the board or have been a part of the board in the last 2 years, please come on to the stage. And let's applaud them and their work. Nice job. I want to acknowledge them, and I'll tell you who they are. We have Al Koenigsfeld, Alan Bassan, Charlie Carr, who's not with us today, but thank you, Charlie. We also have Doug Ladwig. Doug's here. Elsa Bro, who was not able to make it today, but thank you, Elsa, for your work as well. Reverend Jackie. Did she come up? Reverend Jackie's part of the board. An essential part of the board. Sandy Schilling, thank you for your work as well. Suzanne Croft, thank you for your participation. Reverend Bonnie, you are a part of the board. Come on down. And I want to say that we cannot thank Joan enough. This person has been sleeping, breathing, eating Unity. So with everything you have in you, let's applaud the board and let's applaud Joan. Yes. Okay. That's it for me. And here's... Oh, okay.
Okay. Thank you all so much. It's for me, it's just really been a path of growth for sure. And I have had such incredible people to work with through these. I've been on the board almost 6 years and retiring this year. So I just thank everyone and everyone in this community who's just been so supportive. So, our last part of this ceremony is to acknowledge our incredible staff. So if you are on staff here, would you please?
Or contract staff too.
Well, yes, that includes you two too. Come on. All our staff we'd like to have come up, please. We're here. Reverend Bonnie, that would be you too. And we even got Caleb out of the booth. And I'd like to invite Deanna to light a candle for the staff. So these people, I can hardly even begin. I mean, look at them. Aren't they wonderful? We even got Gary up here. So I would just like to make sure everybody knows who everybody is. Caleb, that I'm trying not to stand in front of, is obviously, you've already been introduced to him. He's our wonderful sound and tech person. And I want to say we're handing them sunflowers because they bring so much light to us. It's just been wonderful. And I want to also mention that a number of them have other, sometimes even full-time jobs, but when they are here, you would not know that. It's like this is their full-time job because they are so committed to this. So we are so grateful. So our next one is Reverend Jackie. He's our youth and family minister. We all know she does great things. And we have one of our newest staff members is Scott Jameson, our accompanist. Oh, perfect. Okay, had to make sure we had enough flowers. Jan Kraft is our wonderful new music director. Not yet. No, not yet. Thank you. And she is not only getting our choir going, but just helping us think through a whole new way of doing music. So thank you, Jan. Yeah, you get a rose up. And then we have Amber Mackenzie. Now she is our communications coordinator, still helping us so much with our slideshows on Sunday, our e-news, and in many other ways. So thank you, Amber. Gary Locke has come on since we had our wonderful flood as our facilities director. He has always done so much and tells us he's going to continue doing so much, which I'm very thrilled about. He's retiring from that paid position, staff position, at the end of this month, but he's still very much a part of us in every way. Thank you, Gary. And then we have Sarah Hawkinson, who is our bookkeeper, money extraordinaire. So she keeps us on the straight and narrow, and she gets to write reports that tell us whether or not we made it that month above the line. And we have our wonderful Reverend Bonnie, who we all know has joined us. We're very thrilled. And last but not least, we have Deanna Doyle, our administrator, wonderful core of everything. So again, just thank you all. Great blessings. And I would like to invite Jan and Bonnie to remain up here. And if everybody else could have a seat. Thank you. Okay, so we have celebrated the past, and now we are going to celebrate the future, being very much rooted in this present moment. How's that? So I'm going to hand this to Al, and he is going to welcome Jan Kraft.
Good morning, all. So most of you know that I have spent the last 10 years in the choir, and probably the most heartbreaking part of COVID for me was the disillusion of the choir, the fact that we couldn't get up here and sing every Sunday. And so Sally and I decided that we would head up the music search team. And I had no idea just how much COVID would affect that, how few people we interviewed, how few leads we got. And it was truly disheartening for a bit. And then about a month ago, we had the opportunity to interview Jan. And it was just such a breath of fresh air. We had, for the first time, really hope. We had the idea that we would be able to sing again, that we would have live music again. And beyond that, Jan came with this message that reminded us that we were not just performers up here to sing, but that we were part of the ministry, that our job was to channel Spirit through our voices and to spread it to the group. And that, to me, has been the most marvelous message of all. I'd like to introduce you to Jan Kraft, our new choir director.
And now I would just like to be the one, I have the privilege of welcoming Reverend Bonnie into our midst officially, even though you've been here for a couple months in some ways. And so, as you know, we went a long time with our wonderful transformational speakers, but there was always something, kind of lacking, just in terms of our leadership, and not, the board did a wonderful job, but we are so absolutely thrilled that you are here to join us, Bonnie. She brings with us inspiration. She's highly organized. She is just helping us to deepen in many ways, and we are just so appreciative of that. So I could say lots, but I just want you to know how much we all love you and appreciate you. So the one final thing before we go to eat, we have designed a little, what would you call it? It's a little inspiration from us to them opportunity. These will be on a table out there, and we invite you to take, this is for Jan. You'll see that there is a little note card here, music lines, and just write a little note. These are for someday, maybe things are not going so great, or it's just been a long day, and she can just pull this out and say, read it and say, oh yeah, that's the truth. So comments of truth for her. Or just joy, like she's feeling joyful already, and it just reinforces it. And then for Bonnie, we have this paint can. I'm not sure I've even read. This is an affirmation can. One of them says, I trust God's creativity to operate in me right now. So we're going to be writing affirmations on paint cards for her. And they're inside the can here. And we need to thank Julie Layden for these ideas, even though she's not here. And I just want to pull out, she carefully picked paint chips that had meaning, like prismatic pearl, impatient heart, poppy prose. So anyway, they each have their own little characteristic that you can pick what your color is and write a special note for Reverend Bonnie. And that will all go in the paint can, and she can have that with her anytime she wants. Okay, thank you. All right. So, thank you both so much. You may be seated. Okay, so it is time for us to enjoy a meal together. So remember the vegans on the side. Oh, candles, that's right, I forgot the candles. Jeez, that's important. Okay, the board members who are helping to light the candles, if you would please come up. Thank you. And they are going, if I could ask everyone to stand, and they will each start one of the candles in the front row, and then you'll just pass the candle. And if you are the one lighting, if you have a lit candle, hold yours upright. If you're the one lighting the candle, you're the one that tips yours over, so that we don't have a lot of wax on the floor. Thank you. And we will be listening to, is Caleb? Where is Caleb? Do you have that song? We may have a song going on while we do this. Thank you. Okay, Neil, let's go get our candles. Okay, so let's just sing This Little Light of Mine a couple times. Ready? You want to give us a solo note? Rubber jam, take us away.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. One more time. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. All right, let's go eat.